Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Zookeepers podcast.
I'm Kay.
I'm T.
I'm White.
I'm Ash.
And I'm Davis, and we are taming life
one conversation at a time.
Woo! All right, y'all. So how y'all doing? How y'all feeling today?
It's the end of the school year.
That and
Feels
all
amazing.
that black.
Ooh, into the school year.
Feels amazing.
Yeah.
Feel good.
Feel good?
Yeah.
I feel good today. Definitely winding down to the end of the school
It's
year.
the end for me.
The end for you.
Yeah. Today was my last day.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
you're not gonna get at him,
Ash say,
How we supposed to meet at the plan on the one last
I'm gonna
time?
meet y'all there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
She
said
said
she ain't got to
she
come
gonna
to
be
the school for that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No,
I'm going to be
yeah.
late, so.
Who gonna be late? Yeah.
Oh, late too.
To work.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, I'm going to be on time for
Not
that.
late.
You're gonna be late
On
for the
time for that.
I'm going to be on time for that.
Okay, yeah, I'm with that. We can be.
See them preschool week.
I have to be on time, unfortunately.
Of course you do.
I'll be on time.
We love that for
But
you.
I'll be on time for everything tomorrow.
Of course.
Put the car on 2 wheels. Okay, so everybody doing good? Everybody had a good week. We winded down.
Yeah.
How y'all? So everybody feeling? So let's all just collectively take a deep breath.
Nobody don't
Okay.
fart. Cause y'all like to sneak them
I
out.
did have a lot of lettuce today.
And maybe you wouldn't.
Oh, God. Not at
Y'all
all.
be trying to poo.
Although White would have just told on every
If
single
you
person.
farting while you sucking it out, you sucking too hard, bro.
Oh, wait.
How you farting?
No, you be
Pause.
trying to hold it in.
Will you be what? Wait, do it again. Will you be what? Oh.
Whenever you see somebody move to the side,
Squinch up.
Toot that.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Cause that really happens.
In the pool.
it does. No, it does.
It be bubbly. Brrr.
It's a serious ordeal.
Bro,
That really
I
happens.
farted in the pool. It's fun.
Ash.
Remind me.
No, never get in the pool with you.
Never. It's a little warm
It's a
over
little
there.
warm over there. It's Ash type of person to pee and just move to the side and act like she ain't did
It's
nothing.
warm over here.
It's a little
It's a
warm.
heated pool?
They
No,
got the
baby.
chlorine, baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
See, that's when they be putting that fluid inside of the water. So whoever
If you pee, it's gonna turn purple.
Turn blue. Yeah.
It's turning a different color.
baby Ash gonna be looking.
Y'all don't go to the pool with Ash.
It's on her every single time.
Here.
I say it's on her.
Ash gonna be looking crazy. Like, who did that? You.
You did it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you know, that's a, I don't even know how to segue that into anything, but
How we
okay.
got there?
Just asked a question and y'all just immediately.
We just ran with it. Okay, well,
We're gonna dead that conversation.
for real.
Okay.
Okay, well,
Speaking of dead. Speaking of the
Speaking of
dead.
dead.
Speaking of the
Oh
dead,
my
I
God.
ain't want to say it like that, but speaking of dead,
Y'all are horrible.
I mean, there was no other segue, and T let
Oh
let it
man, that
through.
was
I'm
funny.
sorry, y'all.
You said at the same time.
Let's talk a little, because we on the same right now. Let's talk a little bit about grief today, y'all. Okay? So,
I'm ready.
I think we dressed for it. We came ready.
We are. Look at this.
I'm sad.
David's just like the pallbearer.
Cause why you got on
Like bright and just.
Everybody got on dark colors and she came in here with pink colors.
We dressed like the choir. We came dressed like the choir. You dressed like the pallbearer.
Somebody got to be the greeter at the door. Come in. Come in. You're welcome to come in.
Man, David's the director over the funeral home.
Somebody.
You see her from out of everybody. Golly.
Cause
No
what?
type of
Well, I didn't get the memo. We was dressing to the.
It's
to
your
the
topic.
sadness. That don't mean you got to be sad. Yeah, now you can do it. Now you
We
can do
just dressing for the occasion, man.
it. So let me say
It's
this.
something we'll wear to a wake. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You repass. We
Celebration.
going to the wake. You're going to the
Celebration of life, Kay.
I didn't go get that.
Celebration of life. Not the. Okay.
Oh
Okay,
man.
guys. So let me say this. Grief. We just can't never be sad. Not really, but let's be happy and sad today. Okay, so grief. Although it's commonly linked to death, grief can also come from the loss of your relationship, such as a divorce, separation, conclusion of a friendship, a serious illness, a disability,
Oh, really? Wait a minute.
a relationship. You ain't never grieved a
They do have
relationship?
divorce funerals.
Oh
Oh,
my
I've
God.
seen one.
see, I need to see that.
They have divorce funerals.
And both partners still alive?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the end of
The relationship.
Yeah, this is supposed to be serious.
You're somebody serious and you say, ooh.
Bruh.
I said they do have divorce.
They do. They do.
That's a thing.
Never heard of it.
Divorce.
Divorce court?
Divorce parties, divorce court.
It should be a party, but
Oh my goodness.
It's a sad situation.
how? Y'all agree? Sad about it.
Somebody, they don't always vote for me. Somebody ain't agree. Somebody is
Man.
tears, baby. Somebody is flying down the wall crying right there.
I mean,
What?
In tears.
Okay.
So y'all give me a time y'all, went through a grief. Not that. A grief. Just a grief. Whether it's a friendship, a heartache, a grief. T has made it clear she's never been to a divorce funeral.
Don't go ahead and ask me. Let's start with you.
Come on, Kay.
Wait a minute, because I don't
you
want,
got?
listen, y'all, I don't want our viewers to think we're insensitive. We're talking about relationships, right? We're not talking about actual
No. We're talking
Any type of
We're
grief?
talking about any type of grief.
Okay,
It can
so
be
just to let y'all know, I'm not inconsiderate or, anything like that. It's just that they're talking
very
about,
considerate.
they're talking about grieving relationships and
Yeah.
marriages.
And the joke.
That's the relationship.
Right.
So now
Let's
Okay.
start with that.
we're opening the door to everything. So
Okay.
we want to start with, right now we're going to start with relationship.
Yeah, let's start with
Let's start with relationship.
Yeah, let's.
So anybody
Hey.
got a time when you want to grieve a relationship?
Come on, Kay.
Never a clock.
Not grieving.
You didn't grieve?
Even if you did. Like if you did on your
I wouldn't
own.
call it. I wouldn't call it.
A relationship.
I wouldn't call it grieving.
And it doesn't have to be a
I mean, I'm guess
relationship.
you would be sad. You think about you sad. Could be emotional, a little like a little erratic. But I mean, I guess I mean, you get your heart broke. It feels like somebody literally killed you. So I guess you could say I didn't grieve before.
See what you got going on.
I'm just appalled that we're using grief over a relationship, but okay.
It can be a
I didn't know.
friendship.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry.
I get it. I get
Called heartbreak.
Break.
So
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's heartbreak. It's not grief.
But you're grieving.
grieving.
Your heart is broken because of the death of the relationship.
Yeah.
The end of the relationship.
Relationship. And it doesn't have to be an intimate one. It could be one you had with a friend, a friendship.
Okay.
I haven't
for it.
grieved no friendship, but I mean, I would consider breaks.
Yeah, I've been sad.
It's grieving. I didn't punch the air a few times.
Did it ever come back and hit you?
In the chest.
Nah. Once. Nah.
Can you imagine? So pop.
Nah, that's as far as like an actual death. I haven't experienced that per se. I lost people, but they was like older. Like my grandma lived a healthy life, great grandma. So I never experienced like a grief. Like it was grieving, but it was like a happiness to it because they lived full life. So
Okay.
but I haven't like lost anybody, knock on wood, like that close to like grieve. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I won't say grieve a relationship, like an intimate relationship, because I'm pretty much, when I'm done. That grieving process for me is that process I'm going through before I end it fully. But I will say I have grieved a friendship before. I've had most people that I'm cool with, that I'm friends with, like I usually met when we're pretty young, so we're still cool to this day. There's only maybe a few people that we fell out or we stopped talking and we still don't talk to this day. And those kind of like only one or two maybe affected me only because I thought our friendship was better than that, but they kind of let little things get in between it, and then later on came back to apologize. And because I just felt like the way they went about it, I never received that. I was just like, oh, okay, cool, we can just keep it a distance. Because at that point, I mean, if you're really friends, you could come back and talk about it. And if you really care about each other, you can come back and talk about it. But if you're just doing something because the wind blew to the left that day, I'm not with that. So I just keep you at arm's length. Come on, T, dig deep.
Ooh.
Dig deep in there.
Y'all already seen my reaction on the friendship thing, I guess, but I don't really, I guess my definition or my perception of grief is a little different, I guess, because I wouldn't consider losing a relationship or a friendship or anything like that grieving. And it could be because I really never really lost a friend or a relationship in a situation to where it was kind of like drastic, I guess. Like a lot of friends that I've had either moved away or we just became distant because of time or different, lifestyle. Like it just, you know what I'm saying? Things just happen that way. We're still cool, but it's not like we probably not as close as we were. But relationship wise, like I've been sad before. Like I've been in my feelings about, losing a person or not being in a relationship with a person, but it's never been to the point where it's kind of like I'm grieving. I don't know. Grief is I don't know. Grief is hard. Like grief. When I think about grief, like it's hard for me, so I can't. I don't know. It's just like a comparison, I guess. But the last time I lost somebody was years ago. Very close to me, like a second mom. Like it was I want to say fresh out of high school, and that was like the last time I lost like literally somebody that close to me. Like I've lost like other cousins and family members, but somebody who was in my life like literally every day. It's been years, and it's still tough because it's a lot of times when you look back and you like, you want to question a lot of things, but it's really like something that you can't question. So grief for me, it's just I don't want to say a dead area, but a gray area.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because I still to this day don't get it. Like with her having young kids, you get what I'm saying? Growing up without their mom, like having to navigate life just without a mother. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, I just didn't understand it at a young age. So as I grew, that just kind of stayed with me. Like I still to this day feel the same way. Like I just don't, I don't get it.
Yeah.
So even like with funerals, if I don't have to go, I'm not going. If I don't have to, you get what I'm saying? Like if I can stay away from it, I'm not, that's not on me. I'm not doing it. So yeah, ever since then, like it's just, like, yeah, but that's how I am with grief.
I understand that. Everybody deals with it differently, for sure. White?
Do you think it's a level of significance?
What do you mean?
Like, if the person played a significant role, then you take it differently than someone who didn't.
I can say that, but at the end of the day, like, it's been a while. Like I just recently lost like an uncle of mine. Like my cousin's father died. And he played you know what I'm saying, growing up, like he was a part of my life, but like as I got older, it was kind of like stretched out. So when he passed away, it was like, dang, like he's really gone, but it wasn't like how it was for her. Like it was, and it could be because of my age. It could have been because we were so young, and just to have to understand that at a young age, it kind of like, that's the death that stuck with me. But she was literally like my mom's sister. So it kind of like every single day, we talked to her like we talked to my mom. You get what I'm saying? So if my mom couldn't do it, she did it. So it was just, like I said, it could be the age, it could be the significance of the relationship, but it's still to this day, like I don't know.
You know, Ash, to piggyback on that is, I would say, how you say like the significance. So the week before my birthday this year, my grandmother died. And I talked to my grandma like few and in between, and we were really, really close when I was small or whatever, but my grandmother lived in Las Vegas. But the impacted me more because of my dad. So I'm my dad's only child, and a few years ago, like maybe 7 years ago, he lost his dad. Then he lost his sister, his dad, his firstborn niece, like all within years. Like this all happened, and then he just lost his mom. So literally, it's 2 of them left, and then my dad, my uncle, and they each have 1 child. And then we have our kids or whatever. But that impacted me more through his grief. Like his grief really affected me more so than.
Because you're watching your dad.
Yeah, then like my grandmother passing. Like I cried, but it didn't hit me until like on my birthday. My grandma would call me every year on my birthday, sing to me happy birthday. So I remember being at dinner on my birthday, and then I looked at my phone and I just started crying at the dinner table. Because that grief, everything started to come all at once, and I was like, oh my God, like I have a 1 living grandparent now, and that's it. And I don't talk as often. I have my grandfather on my mom's side, but I talk to him, but not that often. So it was more so of that. So even though she didn't play a huge significant part of my life as an adult, it was definitely watching him go through that heartbreaking.
I can agree to that, because even with, like I just said, with my uncle, it was more so of my cousins who I grew up with, you get what I'm saying, like almost like we're siblings, you get what I'm saying, like we did everything together. So to see them lose their father was kind of like, like that was crazy to me, you know what I'm saying. So I think watching them more so grieve, you know what I'm saying, like it kind of like hit me in that sense. And then like with my cousin who passed away a while ago, just to see now like her kids doing certain things, and her kids have kids, and she's not a part, you get what I'm saying, like it just hits different, like just to have to watch them go through what they go through on the everyday basis without their parents, you get what I'm saying, and me still having both of mine. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, sometimes I watch them and I'm just like, dang, like they really have to like live to where they have to explain to their children like who she was. Right. So it's just, it definitely is different. It's definitely different.
What? Come on, White, what you got?
It's not funny, and I don't know, like listening to the stories, like trying to really receive the information and like come up with comments is kind of hard, because like with one point what Ash made, the significance about it, and you guys were talking about it, and I want to focus on what T said. Seeing the family members go through the grief is like the hard part. So then I'm thinking about the significance part about it, to where it's not really how close you are. I don't know if you're talking about like that significance of the role that person played in your life, but it's more so seeing the loss or the grief in the family members. Right. You know, that's the hard part. Because when I do attend funerals, and thank God it's not that often, I think like it's sad in that moment, because you see how many lives are affected. Right. And that's when you really, are full of emotions in that moment. And then when you do go back and, you're alone, you're in isolation, you think about it, I don't want to say that it's not as impactful as seeing it, how many lives are also impacted more than just yours. And that's kind of how I always look at it, like, yeah, I'm hurting too, but look how many other people are also hurting. Look at the kids that are no longer going to be able to have this person in their life. At least I had this one piece they're not going to have any memories, especially the young ones. Right. So, like, to comment on what you said earlier, Davis, about how you only have one grandparent. Yeah. I have 2. I have both of them are my grandmothers. I never knew my dad's dad or my mom's dad, so that was a loss that I never knew. But now seeing my dad's mom go through like dementia, and I don't visit her as often as I should, and my grandmother is 98, and I want to say I stopped visiting her the moment I knew that she didn't remember me.
Yeah, that's hard. That's tough.
And I can see, like, I talk to my dad every day, and he's, I'm going over mama's house, you should stop by. But then it's like, am I going over there for you, or am I going over there for me? Yeah. Because like me going over there, it hurts, because I know that this woman, she's not like my grandmother anymore.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the mind to where it's just sad to see her go through that. And I know that loss is going to affect my dad to where I don't even know how I can really be there for him
Yeah.
in that moment.
Yeah.
And then what my mom's mom, she's like, what, 30 years, 40 years younger than my dad's mom. So she's healthy, she's lively. Like when we throw parties, my grandmother is always there.
Yeah.
To where I don't know which one I say I would hurt the more, would be impactful.
Yeah.
But I think that the loss, I think that seeing my dad and how many children, my grandma had like 11 kids, seeing how many people will be hurt and impacted with that loss, I'm more so worried, afraid for them
Right.
than on my mom's side.
Yeah.
Because of, how many lives are affected. And I think that's what I always look at with grief, not so much like how I'm affected by it. And that's
Right.
something I have to work on myself, but more so like,
Me too.
dang, look at all these other people. At least I had this
Yeah.
time with them.
Yeah.
Well, that's just my 2 cents.
No, that makes sense. That's a good point.
I never thought of that point though. I'm actually, and not to say you guys don't care about people, but when I said like the significance, I was thinking in terms of if this person's not significant to me, then the grief is essentially non-existent for self. That's what I was thinking. But to hear you guys say, well, even if it may be non-existent for me because maybe I wasn't close to this person,
Right.
but to see the other people that are affected causes me to feel sad.
Right.
So when I brought up the significance, I wasn't thinking about that part of it. I only knew one grandma, my maternal grandmother. But she didn't know me. I wouldn't say she knew me because she was blind. She was blind for more than half of her life. And so she died at 100, and she was in Haiti, so they really...
That is a long life, though.
Yeah.
My great grandma
That's a
lived that
long
long
life.
too. I think she's like 100, 101. My great grandma, I think so.
Yeah, my grandma died at 100. Actually, a couple of years, or a few years after my brother died. So she outlived my brother. So I didn't know my granddads, and I didn't know my paternal grandma. And then my dad died when I was 6. I was young. So I'm gonna piggyback on the age thing too. So for me, the death at that young age wasn't impactful. I think because you don't understand it. So it's like someone was here today and they're gone, and so it's like life continues. But I also think because my mom, I didn't see her properly grieve my dad. So I wasn't given the tools to properly grieve losing someone.
I was properly grieving in your perspective.
Like acknowledging that person. Like in our home, well, at that time, it's like all of the person's stuff just disappeared. Like they pack up everything and
It's
it's
just
gone.
Like
Right.
immediately?
Hmm?
Like immediately?
Yes, like pictures, everything. Like it's like the person becomes non-existent. Like even though they were here for a time, once they die, it's like we don't even want to acknowledge that the person existed.
Oh wow.
That's tough. But that's probably
And I
their
think
way
it
of
may
grieving.
be and it could be cultural, and it may be also not knowing if that's what they saw growing up, then it's just something that they continue, and the behavior is perpetuated.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I went to therapy. The whole losing my dad came up in therapy for me, and because once my dad died, we went to Haiti for 2 weeks. I was separated from my mom. My mom went to a family home to get, like, in our Haitian culture, like, they give them medicine, so like herbal teas to deal with the shock and all of that. So I was separated from my mom for 2 weeks. She was at one family home, I was at one family home, and then when we came back together, we came back to Florida, and then life continues. And so you don't discuss the person, like.
Do you feel like they do that so they don't grieve, so that they not reminded of that the person was still here?
Or is that their grieving process?
That may be the grieving process. I just know that for me, I don't think it's a healthy process.
Okay.
But it was different when my brother died.
Okay.
Like when the people started coming to the house to like take down pictures, my mom was like, no, leave my pictures up. So I don't know if it's because this was her child too. And so it hit different.
Now, when you say people, like who?
Family members?
Like family members, church folks.
Okay.
Like,
because that's what they're used to. Okay. Because I'm like, who you coming to your house to take pictures down?
Yeah, because they're like, I guess they think, and it might be what you're saying, Davis, like, maybe they think if you see the picture of the person, it keeps you in that
state of mind
of sadness. So let's take down these pictures so you don't have to see this person. But the turn side of that is
you don't see
Why
that
not?
person.
we're acting like this person
never existed. You don't see that person.
So it's kind of like grieving a relationship.
Yes, I was gonna say that.
So if you break up with somebody and you
everything.
going through that heartbreak, but you still might keep one little sweatsuit, or not sweatsuit, like a jacket, or like in one little picture, just because, you know what I'm saying? So instead of going cold turkey and no communication, no pictures, no videos, that's, to me, is a grieving process. Because those are memories. So now you gotta kind of like, okay, not think about that person because you don't see it out of sight, out of mind, basically.
But that makes more sense for me
with the relationship.
If we're breaking up.
With
the relationship.
That person is still here.
It doesn't make sense for me with someone who
is gone.
Who died.
Right. So that's why I was comparing what grieving in a relationship may look like compared to actual death.
That's tough.
So that we didn't deal with that with my brother. And 3 years ago I lost my mom. And I have a picture of her right in my office, like a huge picture of her. On my phone I have all of her voicemails. Like those are probably the only voicemails that I have in my phone. And because sometimes I'll go and I'll play them just to like hear her voice. So yeah, I don't think I've ever grieved though a relationship.
Right.
But I grieved the loss of my both parents, and I actually grieved my father as an adult. After going to therapy and all of that, and all of that stuff just being brought back to me. And I think it is a process that is it's not linear, so it's continuous.
Yeah, I agree. I've grieved relationships. The only relationship I've ever grieved is when I didn't have one with my mom. At some point as an adult, I grieved that. Like I wanted that relationship, but like you said, it's a little difficult to explain because she's here. Like she's alive, so it just literally needed to be something we talk about, work through, and I can't imagine if they weren't here and I wanted that. So with us talking about the significance and how people play in our lives and all that, so tell me, we all kind of feel the same, it feels like, when it comes to relationships. Like, we don't really consider that grieving, but what if you were in a 20 plus friendship, right? 20 plus year friendship, and that friend is gone? Like just left your life, still alive, but left your life. Y'all got into a really bad argument. They're no longer talking to you, no longer talking to them. This is your ride or die, your friend, like your true friend, versus a spouse you've been with for 3 years. How do you feel? Who's more impactful in that loss?
And I guess that's the part that I was saying too with the significance. Like,
Yeah.
how much did that relationship mean to you?
Yeah. What's more impactful? Like,
Can you repeat the latter?
So
20 years and
20 years,
Friendship.
like if you have a friend, you've been friends with them for 20 years, y'all get into an argument, y'all stop talking, like no communication. That's your day one. And you're married, let's say new relationship, married, but you've been with this person about 3-4 years, your spouse, your significant other, your spouse, you don't have to be married, significant other, spouse, but y'all break up or y'all divorce. So now you're not speaking to either one of them. Whose relationship are you missing more? Well, who's more impactful for you?
That's a
That's a tough one.
Who's
that's
more?
a different type of. It's a different type of love, though.
I agree.
I
But
can
it
use,
doesn't mean okay. Go
I
ahead.
can use me and Tierney for example. We had a rough patch where we wasn't speaking as much. It was never like it was just whatever, complicated things. So I want to say I grieved that, but I was heartbroken about that because I've known her for so many years. So to compare it to a relationship that I've been in for a very long time and I'm no longer, it doesn't feel the same. Like I'm okay with that in that situation. I wasn't okay with that in that situation because of the longevity.
You're okay with that?
Right.
Right.
Because that's somebody, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a relationship, so
Right.
we're not.
I think the expectations of
Yeah.
it, like when you have a friend who's like you say a ride or die, your expectations of that is kind of like, okay, this is somebody no matter what, like this is my friend. But when you get in a relationship, you know, like, okay, we may break up,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like something may come along that deads this relationship and it may, you know what I'm saying, like jeopardize anything that we got going on. But when you're in a friendship is kind of like, okay, you're supposed to be here through no matter
Thick
what.
and thin,
Right. We don't have financial issues. We don't have who cheated and who didn't. You get what I'm saying? Like the relationship is different. So it's kind of like the expectations of it all. I think the friendship will probably be more, I would say, impactful because of what you go into it with. You know, like you gonna tell me you can't be my friend because I ain't got $20. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like, so it's kind of like it's a little different. So like your friend is supposed to be there through thick and thin, no matter what. I mean, I get that's probably what it's supposed to be for marriage. I can't speak on that, but I just feel like the expectations of going in knowing like, okay, this is my friend, she's gonna be here or he's gonna be here.
Right.
Other than okay, I'm going into a relationship not knowing what's going to happen or what could happen.
Right.
I also think it's your heart too. Like, I think, because the way you posed it was like, okay, we've been friends for 20 years. I haven't been friends with y'all for 20 years.
Right.
Right? So I'm going to use White, for example, because she's who I just met, if we're going to say that.
Right.
So we've been friends for 2 years. The loss of that friendship would still be bothersome
Devastating. Gotcha.
for me. Just simply because when I invite people in, I invite you completely in, right?
Right.
When I love you, right? I'll give you my last. Like, I think people who are like intentional with friendships and cultivating friendships, like, you don't just become friends with
Anybody.
everybody.
Right.
Right? So
I was just about to say that.
I spend some time, I watch you, I'm very like observant, and then we cultivate a relationship, and I want our relationship to flourish.
Right.
So I wouldn't put the year thing on it or the amount of years on it. I'm thinking of your intention going into the relationship. And also for me, someone who's lost some of the most important people in my life too, it's like, but if you choose to go
ahead.
Yeah. Be free.
Right.
But I would hope that you don't do me like that, knowing that I've lost all these significant people.
Yeah.
And here I am giving you a significant space in my life.
I like how you said that.
Knowing that I've lost these people, that you would walk out on that. And if you did decide to do that, then maybe I shouldn't have had you in this space to begin with.
But do you think going into it thinking like that, your expectations of that friend is kind of like, I don't know how to really word it. Because the way you just put it was like knowing that I went through this type of grief, or knowing that I lost significant people in my life, that you would do me like that.
And that's the thing, I will hope you consider that. And maybe I do put a higher expectation because you're coming in full throttle knowing my life experience.
See, and that's flip-flop for me.
And what I've had to learn, though, is you can't expect yourself
From other people.
Right. So that's hard, too.
Yeah.
And it's not like I go into, like when we started cultivating our relationship, I didn't say, well, I've lost my mama, my daddy, my
So you stuck here, like don't play with me.
Don't leave.
I didn't say that.
Don't leave me, girl.
But I'm hoping the way you see me, and all my friends, like all of you, the way you see me, the way that I carry myself, the way that I show up.
Right.
You know why. Like
you would understand, okay, she shows up
Right.
this way because of X, Y, Z.
Gotcha.
See, I'm
she
flip
gives
flop. I put that on my relationship. The person I'm with, that I've been done dirty, or this. I would put that on them more so than my friends. Only because I'm more forgiving to my friends, and because it's kind of what everybody kind of just said a little bit is, I'm expecting you to ride with me till the wheels fall off.
Right.
So if we're genuine friends, like, okay, we had a little back and forth or whatever, like, I'm gonna give you a little space, you can give me a little space, and we're gonna come back at it and keep going. Because if this relationship don't work, I need you in my corner. Like, I need you to be here so we can get through this together. So I'm expecting that from you. But when it comes to, like, listen, my past, I done been hurt, blah, 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 I'm putting that more so, depending on the situation, I'm putting that more so on my significant other. Because it's like, I share intimate body parts with you. I need you to, like, really get it together.
Lock in.
Yeah, I need you to really get it together. So my girls,
intimate
body part. My girls, like, I'm more forgiving. I feel like if you can be in a relationship with a person and you can forgive that person 3,000 times, you should be able to forgive your friend 6,000 times. If they're your true friend. Now, I'm not talking about people we just met off the street 20 days ago.
I also think it depends, too, the offense.
That's true. I agree with that, too.
Right, you kind of quiet.
Yeah.
No, because like, just again, receiving, I had, like, when you said that, when you did the comparison, the 20 plus years versus the 3 years,
Right.
I'm thinking of what happened to me with my high school best friend that continued on into adulthood, college, and how the relationship just dissolved over, like, in our adult years. And I want to say, and I always tell my students this, that you are friends right now with people because you have to be. You go to the same school together, so you're spending 8 hours of your time with that person. Well, what happens when you become an adult is you have to make that person a priority. Right. You have to make time to, see that person. And I feel that even though we were still best friends in college, we worked together, we went to the same college, like, we carpool, we did everything together. And I feel that, I want to say, like, the birth of my daughter, that's when it kind of just went left. And that relationship was more impactful and hurtful than when my husband and I broke up in college, or like my earlier years in college. And I want to say, like, even though we shared, my husband and I, intimate moments, because the girls know. When even though we shared that relationship did hurt, but it didn't change the way I have relationships with friends now.
Right.
And she taught me that I needed to protect myself from people, because at any point this person can leave you.
Yeah.
She can walk away. And because of that,
for me.
sometimes I will push you to see whether or not you gonna withstand this. And if you don't, then I'm okay with that too. And I
So you
feel
feel
like
you can attest to that.
grieving that relationship has taught me to be okay with leaving people or with people leaving you. And
Okay.
it's not a good quality. And I feel like sometimes I'm still grieving that relationship. And baby, we share I have a godchild. That's my first child. So like we just celebrated his graduation. And when my husband was like, yo, she's there, it was like so uncomfortable for me to get a car because I haven't seen her in years. Like I purposely.
You guys share a godchild.
Yes, her son.
Oh, okay.
So I want to say like, and when she did that to me, like she was going through her own thing, but that left a void to where my current best friend wasn't even able to establish anything with me because I was just like guarded. I did not want a friend. I didn't want a friend. And I want to say,
I applaud you for still showing up, though.
listen,
I applaud you for that.
Yeah.
listen.
You gotta do the applause.
Yeah, applaud yourself. Applaud yourself.
Yeah, so, but again, I did like take some of my frustration out on my godson because I felt like seeing his face, it reminds me of his mother.
Yeah.
Like they look just alike. So like that was another reminder like, dang, I gotta see you. And I gotta relive this right here.
Baby, I be scared for Savannah.
Listen.
Scared from
Oh
her.
my God.
And like when I did see her, like we sat down and it was like she was unaware of
How you
The
felt?
offense.
how I felt. And then me sometimes like I can read the room and I'm not gonna bring it to you unless I really want to be petty like that. But it wasn't the time or place, so I just looked at the baby pictures. Oh, congratulations. And it was more of her just sharing so much of what she has accomplished to where I never showed her a picture of my child. I didn't talk about my children. I mean, Junior was there, but June is doing his own thing. He's minding his business. So it was really her just letting me see maybe what she accomplished, the family that she had. I don't know. And I just sat there like, oh, okay. And it was just very weird for me to be in that moment with somebody that I haven't seen in like, has it been 20 years? I was friends since like 18. Nah, not yet.
That's a long time.
Yeah. I want to say like 17.
Oof.
And when I turned, because I had my daughter when I turned 23. So when I turned like 23, it was just done. Like, it.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Jeez.
your daughter's 14, right?
And then I haven't seen her, like, that hurt me because it's like, what? I was there for you when your son was born. Like, every step of the way. And then when my child is here, you don't even know what she looks like.
Yeah.
So
And
you
you mean-
haze your friends?
Do I
Your
what?
new friends? You haze us?
I mean, that's what y'all want to
Basically.
call it.
I think we had it wasn't an intentional.
You haze us?
I don't think I got a haze though, so I don't know.
Immediate, you did not.
I don't think I got
I
a
think
haze.
what me White is what you said is about because me and you had like a under like we didn't even know what the issue was. We had both different perspectives of whatever the issue was. So I think I stopped you, right? I said, White, come in and talk to me. And then ever since
Maybe
then,
you did.
yeah. And then ever since then,
you.
and ever since then we've been cool. We've been fine. So I guess I
you
wouldn't
gotta
say
do
that
that.
was like intentional hazing, but I guess by me doing that, it showed that I actually cared about,
Yeah.
She do be hazing folks. Y'all.
I don't be intentionally like trying to haze people.
She's just a
Like,
little guarded.
She closed her classroom doing my face plenty of times.
Oh wow.
attorney, don't act like that.
This was even after we was already a
But I
friends.
made it clear that I didn't want a friend.
She didn't,
like
but I didn't give up, y'all. As y'all can see,
she didn't.
I was very
job.
She did
persistent.
it.
Good job.
Very
And look where we are now.
Look
Sit
where
on the
we are
couch.
now.
Look where
In
we
on
are
the
now.
brown couch.
She can't live without me, y'all.
I think it's important though, because we live in a world that says no new friends.
Yeah.
And you can't sit with me, and all these things that we.
That's because like
What
growing
out
up,
there?
it was for us. I know like this generation is different, like
Right.
in high school. But for us, we like the
It was nice.
established friends we had, like we stuck with those friends for years.
We're all still cool.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So
pretty
I
much.
think now like that no new friends thing it probably started with us because of the fact that when we started making new friends, it started
Getting weak.
affecting us. You get what I'm saying? Like our friends who we were friends with initially, like those are friends we grew up with. Those was the ride or die.
Like literally from like
Yeah.
elementary school,
Literally,
like
we
we
were
seen the same
elementary-
people.
the same people every step of the way. So
Literally.
when you started letting new people in, either those old friendships started to break apart, or those new friendships started to stab you in the back. So I
Yeah.
think we started the no new friends thing,
Things
and then
started
now
getting-
it's like kids know, like, okay, yeah, we can make friends wherever.
But
Yeah.
I think too, at our big ages, we need discernment
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
so that we're not dealing with just letting anybody in our space
Yeah.
that could possibly cause us heartbreak.
Yeah, because now we say what? Protect our peace.
Yeah.
So
very
it's like
much so.
we really do be coming up with all this stuff. It's just like what comes with that.
Very much.
You do the no new friends, and then now you protecting your peace. It's kind of like, okay, now you put yourself in the area to where which one do you?
Want to do?
Yeah. So I think we kind of do that to ourselves, just allowing, I guess, life itself just to affect how we accept people. Because if we was like that, then this podcast wouldn't even
Would never
exist.
happen.
If that's how we really felt,
About what? No new friends?
no new friends or any of that. Because
Well, that's what I mean
even
by
with
that.
protecting our
Yeah.
peace, like a lot of we didn't come along just gradually and just say, oh, you're a nice person, let's, you get what I'm saying, let's be friends. Literally, like we talked about how, you know, how we you get what I'm saying, reunited as far as when you came back to the school and
You ain't
I
helping
left
with
you
the
in parking
papers.
lot. You get what I'm saying? So if that would
Need
have
some
been
help.
no, I'm finna protect my peace because this girl ain't even asked me if she ain't even want to help me. If it would have,
Yeah,
what
if
would
it
have
would've-
the result been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That
So
speaks on the person's heart, though, on the other side of that.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Need some help.
Yeah, shut up.
Well, I mean, so for our last question of the night, I think White pretty much started it off by giving us that story between her and her best friend. Like, is there anyone that you're currently still feeling the effects of that loss? And do you forgive them? If so, how? And if not, why? Why would you forgive someone that hurt you
Okay, I got
the
it.
way they did?
I can say this.
Time heals all
Oh, yeah.
wounds. Sorry,
Okay.
okay. I feel
Yeah.
like time, like eventually the wound doesn't sting as much as when you first got slapped.
True.
It's still, that pain will forever be there. You will forever have that core memory of what happened. But the blow is not in your face. The impact is not there. And I do believe like time heals all wounds, because I was able to sit there in all my uncomfort, like just and receive her, you know, for who she is, whatever she's gone through, and just be okay with things not being okay.
Right.
Because like, even though we had a moment to where, you know, 18 years now, because my godson graduated and I haven't seen her in 18 years, and I was still able to sit and receive her. Like now I'm still able to have friends, mate, relationships. I mean, I'm guarded, but I'm not as much as when my first best friend, like when she came in the picture, it was a no, I don't want to be bothered, leave me alone. And that one was persistent.
Right.
So I feel like time heals all wounds, and over time you eventually become okay with letting that person either apologize or you accepting things for what it is.
Right.
Yeah, because when you don't forgive people, they affect you more. Like you
I
have
agree.
that effect is on you. Like if you don't forgive a person, basically like you're still giving them that power.
Right.
So if you were still affected by her, you wouldn't be friends with none of us.
Correct.
You wouldn't have
Right.
you wouldn't have friends. So you have to honestly like either like you say like let time heal it or forgive them, because at the end of the day, you hurting more by not forgiving her than she is.
Right.
I think I can say, I'm sorry, Ash. I haven't forgiven, and it's hard because it's go back to the significance of a person. So my dad passed away too when I was 13. So I wasn't grieving that because I didn't know him, but I felt bad because I wasn't grieving that. I'm more angry in a sense because I ain't even get to know you. And then at the same time, it goes back to something you said, and it's about like forcing yourself to whatever. So I don't like to go around my grandparents because I'm angry. And my mom, and I feel bad. And my mom like, you need to go meet him. You need to go meet him. Not meet him, but you need to go see him. Go see him. Go see him. But it's not benefiting me. I think White said about going to see your grandma, because I don't feel anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm being forced to be around the side of the family that act like I ain't even exist in the first place.
Right.
So it's like, do I do it because it's the right thing to do, go see them and stuff like that? Or do I just stick to, I just don't want to be bothered? Because I don't want to think about it. I don't want to do none of that. So
Well, people have to realize too, a lot of times when you're trying to do the right thing, how it affects you.
right.
Like they want you to do the right thing by going to see them, but they're not thinking about how that affects you every time you go see them.
Correct.
Agreed.
So that's another thing. Like people want you to do the right thing. They want you to grieve a certain type of way, but you're not even thinking about how that's affecting me every time I have to see their face or every time I'm in their presence.
Right.
And I'm more important
And I'm more important.
Right.
than
Right.
myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I agree that time heals all wounds when it comes to like the loss of a friendship.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I don't believe it for the latter, what we spoke about as far as losing loved ones. Because my losses hit me like a ton of bricks. Any given time, any given moment, any given day.
Yeah.
I can wake up and be jolly and getting ready for work, and I open my front door
Yeah.
and the world just comes crumbling down.
My question to you, Ash, is like with the whole time heals all wounds. That's my interpretation. Me having siblings, I think if something, God forbid, ever happened to my dad, I will have siblings that I can share that grief with. But for you, you are now the only member left in your immediate family, correct? Does that impact the way you view that term, time heals all wounds, because you don't have anyone to share that grief with? So you're constantly living with that and dealing with that by yourself.
Possibly, but I also felt like that prior to my mom passing. So even though me and my mom could share in the loss of my brother, I still sometimes just didn't want to go on.
But you don't have another sibling though.
Oh, now I don't have nothing.
So again, it's back to, you can't share that grief with your parent, because I feel like that's a different
relationship.
Oh, that is true,
Yeah.
because I never shared how I felt with my mom, knowing that she lost her only son.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I had to be the strong daughter.
Yeah.
Yes. So then, yes. Put that way, yes.
Okay.
That's tough.
Because I don't have no, and even, I grieved my mom. My grieving process started those last 6 weeks when they offered us hospice.
So you're already preparing yourself.
So I was already preparing myself. Like the morning my mom died, I had already had an appointment that morning with the funeral home. So like I knew, like my husband gets, he got not presently, but during that time he would get so upset with me because he's like, "Where's your faith? Why don't you believe that your mom's gonna get better? Where's your?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I could believe for a miracle, but I also need to live in
Reality.
Yeah.
that my mom has end-stage gallbladder cancer. There's nothing that they can do, and she's dying. And you want me to sit here and not move and not act and not do things and just pray, like sit in my prayer closet. That's unrealistic."
Right.
To just sit in my prayer closet thinking, okay, God is going to perform this miracle. Not to say that he couldn't.
Right.
Because if he wanted to eradicate all cancer cells in my mom's body, I believe that God has the healing power to do that.
Right.
However, I also believe in the life process. We all live to die. And so I'm going to do my part.
Right.
And so, yes, during that grieving process, I didn't have a sibling to be like, it's your turn to take mama to the hospital. It's your turn to go take her watermelon. Like, I abandoned my home. I abandoned my husband. I abandoned my son. I abandoned our whole home and was with my mom those last 6 weeks. Because she only looked for me.
Oh.
Gotcha.
And so I had to be the strong daughter next to her. Because you're literally watching this parent deteriorate right before your eyes. So
That's
that
tough.
may be it too. And even now, just I don't have anybody to share that with. Like, I have my friends, like I talk to you guys. Y'all know I'm very open about my grief, but it's still not
the same.
It's not the same.
y'all get to go home and you get to talk to your mom and dad. T gets to talk to, like, everybody gets to just
Correct.
do their thing, right? And I don't get that. And then I go home to a husband that has both parents.
Yeah. Cause I'm like you, right?
So we don't
I just talked to my dad on the way up here, like right before coming through
So
the
even
door.
me and my husband don't have that
The same
shared
type of
Yeah.
relationship there.
Right. Now we do when it comes to a sibling, because my oldest sister-in-law passed when I was in high school. So that, we shared that. But like, sometimes I'd be so bothered when I hear him on the phone. And not like I don't want you to be on the phone, just like I wish I could be on the phone with my mom.
Right.
And
Remember I said in the other episode how being around my paternal siblings made me feel some type of way because I know they shared something with my dad that I
And
didn't.
that's why I asked
But it's
you
not
that.
towards them. It's just the situation.
And I don't know how to explain that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like an ugly envy.
Right.
It's like I'm envy.
It's not
that
fair.
My mom would have been 71 this year. No, 70.
Yeah.
August 1st, my mom would have been 70. Like, how?
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they're 86 and 82.
Yeah.
And like, earlier, like that first year, that first Mother's Day that we missed, we were out of town, and just my husband calling his mom to say Happy Mother's Day just like rubbed me completely. I was like, you don't even, like, you could have stepped outside this hotel room. Like, you could have went.
Yeah.
And not that I don't want you to say Happy Mother's Day. It's just like,
tough.
No, I got my mom.
I don't get to call my mom and say Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So can you take that outside?
I mean, so like I agree with you too. Time heals all wounds. As y'all know, I'm in therapy. So I'm in there.
I don't know why we laughing at David.
She's being
Because we know
interrogated.
why she in therapy.
You're being interrogated.
So
They're building the case. Rico.
so one of the things
Conspiracy.
one of the situations I was dealing with was with my son's father. We've known each other since high school, and we were very young. We got married really young, we got divorced really young, and we had kids really young. So everything just boom, boom, boom happened. And as we started to have issues between each other, it kind of trickled down to our kids. So it was just like court back and forth, this back and forth, that back and forth, that back and forth. And it was something I wouldn't wish on anybody, because it felt like once you got over one emotional hump, something else happened, and then you got over that. So at one point I was very angry at God, because I was like, I let this man live his life. I don't do this, I don't do that, and he keep bothering me. And I'm sure on his perspective, he was like, this girl keep doing this and this and that, and I'm just trying to do this and this and that, be for my kids. So eventually we had to grow up. We had to come to a place where we like had a whole conversation, sat down, and we talked about it. And then we kind of was able to start co-parenting way more effectively than we had in the past. And I felt like that was one of the things that I had to forgive and he had to forgive in order for it to happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it took time.
neither one of my sons have reached 18 yet. One almost there, but we haven't got there yet. So that relationship, and I always used to tell him, I was like, it never was us I missed. It never was like anything romantic between us, but I'm like, I just thought that we were better than that. Like, when you've known somebody for that long, like, I've been driving to your mama's house for 15, 20 years at this point. Like, when you've known somebody for that long, you just like, how did we get so far to where we can't even talk about what our kid gonna eat today? So it was a very hurtful experience. And then when the last situation happened, when we had to go to court, I just remember boo-hoo crying in the shower. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to work on forgiving this man and being able to communicate, because I had to learn how to communicate with somebody that I didn't want to talk to. So that was like my step one in going to therapy. I had to learn how to communicate with somebody I didn't want to communicate with, because I felt like I was constantly being hurt. So like, that's another thing when you were saying like with the walls up and all that kind of stuff, my walls are constantly going up and down. Cause like when we good, I'm like, all right, let me put them things down. We finna have fun.
Wait a minute.
And then a moment,
Pause.
God,
Wait a
y'all
minute.
are the worst.
Wait a minute now.
Y'all are the
In the
worst.
shot. In the shots.
Wait a minute.
Put Kay in the back room. please.
No.
Wait, what
Put her in the
walls?
room. Put her in the
You
room.
come on now. You set yourself up for that, cause me.
You about them kind of walls.
What? He said my wall is going up and down.
Up and down. And she said when they down.
And when they down.
When the walls are down, baby.
My walls is going up and down.
And when they down.
What do you mean your walls going up?
People stop.
Me and Kay looking at each other.
Y'all did. They gotta grow up. And we were talking, y'all didn't say nothing.
We could
And we just looked at each other like,
We was having
you just say
a
what you
good moment. A good moment.
gunshot.
why did you have to use walls?
Because
Going up and down.
You could say
What
guard.
wall go up and down?
what bars go up and down?
I said guard. Let your guard up.
What wall?
you build a wall. It go up, it go down.
No,
Like this.
guard. Let your guard
Your
down.
gate, something. Your gate. Garage.
No, let your guard down. Not your walls.
Your wall, your guard.
You let your guard down, not your walls.
Y'all are just nasty. What's wrong
No.
with y'all?
Why y'all thinking about
Because it's the
walls?
way she
The way you just
the
said
way
that,
she
Why y'all
said
thinking
it.
about walls?
bro.
I'm sorry.
Oh my
You know,
god.
way-
there's so much you can say before we just,
way-
Oh
you know.
my god.
The way you just said that was just diabolical.
Thank you.
When my walls are
I don't
up,
understand.
and when my walls are down, and they just go
You
up.
said your walls is going up and down.
I thank you for that.
You know when your walls going up and down,
But when they down,
growing up.
but when they down,
I thank you, Father, that they are growing up in this moment.
but when they down, when the walls is
my
down.
walls is down, baby.
They gotta grow up, Lord. They gotta grow up.
Baby.
All right, David, we sorry.
We sorry.
They got
we sorry. I couldn't.
Sorry.
Lie.
When Kay
sorry.
looked at me and I looked at her, it was no longer. We couldn't.
Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 We done with the wall.
Sorry for the walls.
Oh my God.
Let the walls. Oh, sorry.
Let the wall say amen.
I don't know what you was trying to say, David.
I'm sorry.
What?
I didn't say that. You said that.
Oh, you was on your
The
way.
thought process is gone, love. So anybody else?
Not on that. We go
Okay.
ahead.
But we want
What was
to
the
thank y'all
question?
for tuning in to another
Cause you talking about walls.
Cause we done at this point.
Because you got walls going up and down.
What was the question for you to say walls?
What does the walls have anything to do with what we were talking about?
Thank
You
you
went from
guys
talking about therapy to
for
walls.
Another great episode.
Thanks, guys.
The Zookeeper.
We sorry, y'all.
Episode what?
Ooh, child.
Bye.
It don't matter. Bye, y'all. See y'all
It
next
don't.
time.